If the frame of a car is crooked, it will start to break down over time. If a house has a crooked foundation, it may collapse. If a person has a crooked skeleton, then diseases, pills, and old age are not far off. We have a hinge joint on which our head rotates smoothly. It consists of the first and second cervical vertebrae, the atlas and axis. But as a rule, in all people, these vertebrae are pinched. This joint is jammed. This is due to the fact that during childbirth, even the most successful ones, not to mention difficult and complicated ones, this joint is compressed. This did not happen when we were born standing, according to nature's design. As a result, we all have slightly crooked heads, there are screws, and the neck muscles are tense. When we learn to sit as children, we need our head to be vertical in order to maintain balance. This is how our vestibular system is structured. However, due to a misaligned joint, our head is crooked and we cannot find our balance. We fall until we find a curved position, but as a result, the head becomes vertical and the child sits up. Over time, this posture becomes fixed and habitual. By 10 months, the child wants to stand up. And again, because the upper part is curved, the posture is not vertical. And once more, a fall, until a proper compensatory position of the lower body is found to offset the upper angles. As a result, although we generally have a vertical position on average, there are curvatures in each individual part. We have scoliosis, a tilted pelvis, a distorted rib cage, and legs of different lengths. Where there are abnormal curvatures of the spine, pretension conditions arise. And in the case of extreme load, problems arise there, protrusions, hernias, and pinched nerves. Who ensures this crooked position of the spine? The muscles, and they are in a constant state of tension, which leads to the compression of some blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and nerve channels. Osteochondrosis pain appears, which then turns into chronic osteochondrosis. Additionally, these muscles require constant nourishment. To maintain tension, they need to work. They need to receive energy. This creates an additional load on our digestive system. We need more food. Ultimately, all organs are attached to the skeleton. If the skeleton is curved, then the internal organs are all in the wrong position. Somewhere there is a pinching, curvature, or compression. The channels that lead to and from these organs for various fluids are also incorrect. There is compression in some areas and curvature in others. The organs receive improper supply, resulting in incorrect functioning. The same occurs in the circulatory system. Somewhere the vessels are compressed, somewhere the angles are altered, and everything is not functioning quite properly. As a result, blood supply is incorrect. In some areas, there are stagnations, while in others, there is increased pressure, creating conditions for the formation of blood clots. The main vessels supplying the brain are also compressed due to the misalignment of the neck and the presence of muscle tension. As a result of this distortion, our brain does not receive proper nutrition. Additionally, venous blood does not drain well. The incomplete development of our mental abilities and poor blood flow lead to headaches, and consequently, our brain starts to malfunction. And since it controls all the vital functions of our body, a malfunctioning brain creates improper functioning of our organism. This ultimately leads to a deterioration in the quality of life and its reduction. From the perspective of nature and the logic of ordinary mechanics, this curved tense posture makes no sense. If we eliminate the conditions that create the necessity for this unnecessary posture, then the body will begin to return to its position like a relaxed spring. If you open the hinge joint, release it, and return the head to the correct position, then these tensions that require increased energy expenditure, which are generally just uncomfortable and detrimental to the body, will begin to dissipate. And the body will begin to straighten. Everything will start to unfold and return to its proper normal position. How can this be corrected? How can everything be put back in its place? It is practically impossible to approach it manually. And that's a good thing, because manual intervention can also cause harm. Let's remember where this tension came from. It arose at the moment when childbirth was taking place. And this load on the neck and head was perceived by our security service, which is embedded in self-regulation, as an attempt to detach our head. As a result, the muscles went into spasm and are holding, and now any actions to stretch the neck will be perceived as a continuation of the attempt to detach the head. The body will start to resist and spasm even more, and it will just be a dead end. It can cause a serious injury. The outcome is very uncertain. Who is holding all of this? They hold our subconscious. And a Qigong therapist, in collaboration with this self-regulation system of the subconscious, can negotiate to provide a lot of energy to relax all these tensions. And then conditions may arise that will allow for the release of all these tensions. For over a decade, there have been more than 2,000 cases confirming this. The result is very high. During this time, only 4 patients could not be treated, and that was because their subconscious resisted. These patients were brought in by their relatives, and they themselves did not want to come, did not believe, and were generally not inclined to participate. As a result, their subconscious simply closed off, and nothing happened. The worst thing that can happen in the case of Atlas therapy using the Saigam method is that nothing happens. Such cases are very rare. Muscle tension is relieved. Correct posture is restored. Tension in the joints is relieved. The compressive load that presses on the intervertebral discs disappears. As a result of protrusion, hernias cease to progress, at least, and in most cases, the discs begin to return to their proper position. The organs strive to apply their position. Chronic diseases associated with this improper positioning begin to recede, or at the very least, stop progressing. Gradually, everything falls into place, and all the conduits are straightened out. And the organs begin to function better. The blood vessels that supply our brain start to return to their proper position. The compressions are revealed. As a result, the nutrition of the brain improves and the outflow is enhanced. The efficiency of the brain increases and headaches disappear. The nutrition of the organs of vision and hearing improves. The likelihood of early dementia and strokes decreases. Of course, there is such a concept as muscle memory. This is a habitual posture that is already deeply ingrained. However, for young people, it can be relatively easily reset. With age, this process, of course, happens a bit more slowly and not completely. Nevertheless, the effect is very significant. Postures straighten, tensions disappear, which is the most important thing. This spring may not be fully revealed, but there is no longer any tension, and there is no danger of extreme situations arising. Most importantly, diseases, chronic conditions stop progressing, and in most cases they go away. Of course, if this has progressed significantly at an older age, additional therapy is required. But after we remove the foundation, the main source of problems, the misaligned skeleton, the organs can then afford to return to their proper place, making treatment much more effective and meaningful. If we start treating something without addressing the root cause, then a return of the problem is guaranteed. In 6 months, after some time, we begin to treat this problem again. And by removing the main cause, people no longer return. People do not return with problems. In short, I tried to talk about a major problem that affects most people. If anyone needs more details or wants to consult, please find my contact information in the description of this video. All the best, and see you soon.